Kakra, you made mention of the fact that Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, right, has been closed down, Ebri Botanical Gardens and all of that. Is it going to be opened this Christmas?
Good. That's a very good question. What the tourism industry is doing is that in order to have a holistic, what we call tourism development plan and also tourism product development, we cannot open it for this Christmas because we need to have a holistic product development there. If you open it and people get in there, obviously maybe some things will be disrupted. So unfortunately, it will not be opened. That is why there are various other tourist sites, which of course they could visit. And when they visit some of these tourist sites, of course, we expect that it is going to give us more inflows, and then there'll be more people going in there. Then we're going to record more. You see, what is really happening is this. Because other tourist sites have been closed and we are renovating them, what is happening is that the other tourist sites, the lesser known tourist sites, are also going to be known by others because hitherto people were not going there. But now you would have more influence there. So it goes to market and promote those tourist sites. And that is one of the modus operandi of the Ghana Tourism Authority, to look at some of the untapped tourist sites and see how to promote them. Right. There are a lot of them that people can visit. W. Du Bois Center, George Padmore Library, the Arts Center, the Independence Square, Legon Botanical Gardens, Shy Hills, a number of them. When you go to the Western region, of course, there are a lot of places there, Grofo, Kwame Nkrumah's birthplace, a lot of places. So all these places are being looked at. Gradually, what is going to happen is that there's going to be a facelift of most of these tourist sites and attractions to be able to have Ghana as a preferred tourist destination.
I was just coming to that. If the sites you've mentioned are in good shape, is it in good shape now?
Good. You've asked a very good question. What it is that we would say that some of these tourist sites are still, some of them are still under bits and pieces of renovation, right? Some of the places, of course, we have to look at, and obviously with the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and the Ghana Tourism Authority, and the various agencies, what we are doing is to make sure that some of these sites are being put into shape. For example, you go to some places and the washrooms.
Right.
So we are looking at some of the washrooms, you are looking at some of the areas that we need to touch. So all these are part of the World Bank Tourism Development Project. So they are still in facelifting, in phases, and then gradually, I'm sure Ghana will get there.
Right. So what's the headline event for this year's Beyond the Return?
Good. We have a lot of events that all the events are very much major.
Top notch.
Exactly, good. Because they are all putting Ghana on the international stage. Ghana, of course, we say is the center of the world. Right. Ghana being the center of the world. It is one of our driving points where you have more of the diasporans, more of the global African family trying to troop into the country and see what country is this? Which country is this that they call the center of the world? If I say the center of the world, what I mean is that the longitude and latitude meet somewhere in Ghana. That is in Tema. So Ghana being the center of the world, that is where we need most of our media organizations to trumpet it out there, so that we are able to sell out Ghana in terms we being center of the world. Now, the major headline is the major headline event is we like I mentioned, we don't have a major one, but we have series of them. For example, we're going to have what we call Afrochella. Afrochella is one of our biggest event. Right. One of our biggest event, of course. I was actually supposed to be here with one of their reps, but unfortunately he's engaged into other equally important engagements, so he couldn't be here. And it's one of our biggest events because Afrochella brings up a lot of diasporans. As a matter of fact, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, sometime this year, I think in April or July, the Honorable Minister tasked the Afrochella team to be able to look at bringing about 10,000 revelers for only Afrochella inside the country. They are supposed to bring them into the country for only Afrochella. You understand? So if we are looking at bringing up only about 10,000 revelers for Afrochella, then you know what it means. It means that it's going to put Ghana on the international stage in terms of Ghana being the center of the world. So if you look at these initiatives, of course, Afrochella has what we call fashion is in, music is in, dance is in, culture is in, heritage is in. So everything Ghanaian is in there. It is to promote made in Ghana products in there so that we as a people are able to see the realization of our tourism and product development. And also Afro Nation. Afro Nation is also one of the biggest, which of course would also take place. We have already had, we are having a fair at the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, where we have the National Museum, the National Museum being situated inside the premises of the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board. We are having what we call December in GH Selewa. Right. So there are various wares that are on display. Discounted, of course, yeah. They are, you know, the economy is hard.
It's very important.
Yeah,
I mean, Christmas there, it's all about freebies.
It's all about freebies, yeah. So most of the items there are discounted. You have a lot of various people who have come on board, and private people. Some have art, some have craft, some have products, okay, shea butter and all that. So when you go there, you get to see most of our local products, our fashion and all that. All those are there. So you experience our fashion and you are able to buy more things in there.
Kaka, do we have anything like a food fair?
Good.
Where we showcase our local foods.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. We have on the 2nd and 3rd of December, there was an African food festival.
Okay.
Right, it took place in Bonso. Right, major. It was a very Bonso in the Eco Park. Okay. Excellent display. Yes, and there are a number of. You see, what is happening is that there are a lot of the events that display lots of our food and our culture. Right. Almost all the events, we have food, we have our culture. We have food, we have culture. Food, dance, music.
It goes hand in hand.
Goes hand in hand, yes. So most of the events have most of our then we have like December 3rd, for example, there was a Jollof and Afrobeats festival. Right. And then there are some other events. For example, if you look at from our book, we have December 16th, there is Riverfest.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, you've heard about Riverfest and it's all over. You have, for example, if you have December 15th, we have Edinkra Carnival. If you look at December 17th, Fire on the Runway.
It looks like there's a lot, but time will not permit us, unfortunately.
There's a lot.
We have to wrap up. Your final words, we have just a few minutes to go. Your final words.
Great. My final words is that Ghanaians should embrace themselves for this December in GH because December in GH is going to bring us a lot of goodies.
Right.
Why do I say this? Because the reason being that we are expecting close to about 100,000 revelers into the country. And if each tourist is contributing about $2,000, each of them is contributing or putting in, like spending about $2,000.
That's a lot
Obviously,
of money.
we're expecting about $2 million, like our Honorable Minister indicated. So we expected that much being pumped into the economy. Also, what the industry has done is that we have had training across the length and breadth of the country. We had training for the art center vendors in terms of customer service and security, how they should be able to handle our visitors coming, right? The diasporans, people of African descent and all that. All these people are very important to us. So in terms of customer service, Ghana is known to be a hospitality center. So we should come together as a people and try as much as possible to put our possible best in order to see the realization of Ghana being the center of the world. visit Ghana.
Right. Thank you so much for passing through, Kaka. I mean, my Christmas is sorted out already. Well, this is where we draw curtains on this morning's edition of the Breakfast Live Show. My name is Lebene Abrokwa. My guest has been Kofi Attah Kakra. Kusi, a big congratulations.